My name is Bert Braud. I live in Kansas City with my wife. I graduated from the University of Kansas Law School in 1984, and I've been practicing law here in Kansas City since then. I grew up playing sports. I played just about every game, sport imaginable. I started running in junior high. I ran cross country in high school and track in the spring, and probably for the last 20 years I've been a regular runner. The motivation for me to get into triathlons was because I've always been sort of intrigued by pushing myself as far as my body will let me go. I was never a competitive swimmer, but I know how to swim. I owned a bike. I thought, let's give triathlons a try. The triathlon I'm competing in tomorrow is the Jewish Community Center Sprint Triathlon. It's a nice kind of way to get my get my feet wet, so to speak. It's only 750 yards in the pool, 20K on the bike, but a stationary bike, and then an indoor 5K. It's a good opportunity for me to see what it's like to do all three events, one right after the other, and how my body will respond to that. My goal in the first triathlon is just to finish it. I don't want to push myself to try and be competitive yet. This one I'll be competing against the 20-year-olds, so I've lowered my expectations in terms of where I hope to finish. Another worry that I do have, I sometimes tend to start races too fast, and so I really want to make sure that I don't overdo it, because I count everything. I count my steps, I count going up and down stairs. I'm counting my strokes, and I can tell you it will take me between 11 and 12 strokes every time. And I know after the 10th stroke, the wall's coming up, so I'm getting ready to turn. And it can get monotonous. Because I'm still a little bit of a new swimmer, I'm worried about form too. There are techniques that my coach has tried to get me to develop. As with any sport, as you get tired, you can see your form breaking down, so I'll be really focusing on trying to keep my form. I've seen some of the more experienced swimmers do a flip turn. I'm not up there yet. I get a nose full of water if I try a flip turn. I'll just be touching the wall and kicking off. I don't think they want me or anybody running on a pool deck. You know, the lifeguards are always blowing the whistle when you do that. Somehow I'll get from the pool to the bike. This is one of the things I've learned. Putting socks on wet feet is not easy. According to the rules of the triathlon, within 2 minutes of getting on the bike, you have to get it to 12 on their tension meter. I'll go at a lower tension for those first 2 minutes, then I'll bump it up to the 12, and that will make it harder to pedal, but I'm stuck there for the rest of it. Riding on a stationary bike, for me, is boring. You see the same thing, that you stare ahead, and whether it's a TV screen or somebody's rear end in front of you on another bike, the view doesn't change. You can look at the equipment on the bike and watch your RPMs, your speed, or how far you've gone, but I anticipate, based on my training, it'll take me about 30 minutes, and that's at a constant speed. And then from the bike to the run, it'll just be a matter of getting off the bike and getting to the indoor track. It's what triathletes call brick training, bike to run. It's very awkward because you use such a different set of muscles. When you start running, you're almost wobbly. And so I've adjusted to starting my run at a slower pace just to get my legs underneath me. I pray a lot while I run. The rosary's a prayer that I pray often, and I count on my fingers as I'm running. It's just time for me to zone out. You don't have to concentrate too much, and so I get some of my best ideas when I'm running. Most of my support, my biggest support, is my wife. She doesn't always understand why I have to run as far as I run or train as often as I do, but she supports me doing it. She knows that I've got some itch that has to be scratched, and she's more than happy to let me do it. Very encouraging, and looking forward to sharing the results.